Just about to open up for the ladies today. In front of us over here we have Mildred and Myrtle. They are two of our original chickens, and I'm just letting them out for the day. And then in here in this box is Pip, and she is sitting on some eggs. Morning, girlie. Hey guys, Ellie here in the garden. Today, more specifically in the chicken coop and chicken run. Today I want to take you on a bit of a mission as I redo this grazing box and address a few questions we've had about our chickens. So this is my chicken grazing box. A lot of you did come on the journey as we built that. If you would like to see that, I'll add in a little tag here for you and you can go and watch how we made this grazing box. But if I'm being perfectly honest, it's not working. Now, it's not working because of its location. The design is doing really well. It's just by placing it here, we've created a little bit of a problem for ourselves. So in this area behind me, around the tree, it always used to be more sandy anyway, and the chickens like to dig here. So we thought we would put our grazing box nearby where the chickens are grazing, and then, or at least having their dust baths, and then they would have like a designated chicken area. Well, it turns out our garden is a designated chicken area, and this isn't working. Now the reason it's not working is because the chickens like to dig on the sides here. They back themselves up against the actual grazing box itself and they start digging, or they dig in this area around. And what they've done is they've actually backfilled this. So while there are seeds coming up and they are enjoying eating them, and the grazing box for the most part fits its original function, it's not doing well here because the soil is right up against the grate here. So I'll bring you a little bit closer and show you what I'm talking about. Right, so over here on the side of the grazing box, you can actually see there are divots, and they have dug underneath in some areas to get their shape, but in other areas they've absolutely covered the grazing box with sand, and now in those areas no seeds are coming up because they keep covering them. So there are seeds that are coming up. For instance, this is a lavender, and there are a couple of like weedy type plants coming up. The plan, I think, for today is just going to be to lift this and shift it. Okay, so as you can see, Pip is currently out of the nesting box, so now's a good time for us to go and investigate. This is a Mildred egg, so I'm going to take that one. And then these are Pip's two little eggs. As you can see, I've written numbers on them. I wrote 1 and 2. That was just for our personal identification. And then we've written the date on them so that we'll remember when they were actually put in underneath her the day she started sitting. Right, so I've come inside just to put Mildred's egg down, and essentially I just wanted to show you I store my eggs with the pointy side facing down and the rounder part of the egg facing upwards, just because there's an air bubble on the side of the egg. So then it encourages the air, if there is any, to stay in one place, and it makes it easier when you boil them because you can break that seal, and then you can get under the membrane, which allows the skin to pull away quite smoothly. So I just thought while I was here I'd just show you, these are what Mildred's eggs look like, and this is what Pip's eggs look like when she is laying. So she isn't at the moment because she's sitting, and she probably won't for a while after, but she does lay this beautiful bluish sagey kind of colored egg. Very pretty. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time today just to answer a few questions we've had about chickens. So we only have 3 chickens in our little flock, and they are all hens. We actually don't have a rooster, and the reason we don't have a rooster is simple. With our bylaws in our city, we are not allowed to keep one purely for noise purposes. And that's okay, because we keep our chickens solely for eggs, and they lay them irrespective of whether or not there's a rooster. They're just not fertile. But our little pup has indeed gone broody, which just means she's ready to hatch a few eggs of her own. And the problem with that is she can't physically sit on her own eggs because they will never develop into chicks. So I was fortunate enough that my mom has got a rooster and some hens, so she donated 2 eggs to the cause, and we put them under Pip so that she could essentially hatch out these little chicks and I wouldn't have to stress about breaking her brood. Pip will now spend the next 21 days sitting on those 2 eggs, and she will slowly rotate them and make sure that they stay at the correct temperature in order to develop. So for those 21 days, she spends the majority of her time in the nesting box sitting on those eggs. However, she does come out once a day, and it's generally somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour that she spends out, and she just uses that time to have something to eat, to drink, stretch her legs, and occasionally have a little bit of a dust bath. This is now the 2 mounds of compost and soil that the grazing box was covering, and I think I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. Let the chicks out tomorrow, they can come and clear this up for me, and they probably are going to dig through it, that's fine, and then I will use this soil to backfill where they have dug out in this area, and tomorrow I will load up the box and start over in a new spot. Hey guys, so as you can see, it's night out and I've recruited dunks, and we're going to do something cool. We're going to candle Pip's eggs. Because she keeps them by her chest.
I don't really want to disturb her. I'll take one for now. Thank you, girlie. This is number 2.
Okay.
I just want to use this piece of fabric so we can block the torch out. See there.
Okay, so if you look in this egg, you can see it very clearly. There are blood vessels that are formed. I'd say it's a fertile egg.
Yeah, no, that is definitely fertile. Just by these blood vessels alone.
You can actually see the movement in this egg here.
Yeah.
And I think that's its little eye. Okay.
For number 1, holding thumbs, we've got.
Okay, so this is egg number 1.
You can also see the movement.
And it's safe to say that I think both of our eggs are fertile. And that Pip is doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. We've got 2 fertile eggs, and we'll come back a little bit later. I'm not sure how many days time, just to check on their progress, and we'll see how Pip is doing then.